Welcome to the Two Steps Ahead podcast, starring Robert Sean McGrew and Raul Ruiz, talking business, strategy, and growth, helping you stay 2 steps ahead. Let's get to work.
And we're just enjoying this nice sunshine today, although it is Arkansas weather.
That's right.
So it can change in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was 27 degrees earlier this morning, and now it's, 65?
Something like that, yeah. And then the wind's blowing in, so it'll probably drop to 40
Yeah, exactly.
about 5 minutes. So.
We'll freeze in a couple hours.
It's all good, man. Weather-wise, we are looking forward to the spring weather once it ever decides to actually stay here. But it's all good. So in the meantime, we're just getting together, having a good afternoon with a nice cup of Joe. Tell me where we're
That's
at.
right, a cup of Joe. We're actually at Airship Coffee in Bentonville. Now, tell me, we're next door to the Collaborative, is that correct?
Yeah.
So if anybody's familiar with the Collaborative, I'll let Mr. McGrew tell you what that is.
It was an extension of the University of Arkansas, but if you do follow us and you know that 1 Million Cups happens there, the e-commerce meetup happens there, the AI meetup happens there, the new fractional community meets up there, everybody meets up there. So it is definitely a place to be. And if you don't have it on your Google Maps, your Apple Maps or whatever, get it plugged in there. 700 Southeast 5th Street, to about a block away from where we're at here at Airship, which is also here
That's
on
right.
5th Street.
This guy knows all. He knows it all, let me tell you. Oh, absolutely.
I don't know about all. I'm trying to keep up with it. What are you having, bro?
I am having a caramel latte.
Smells
Yeah,
so
let me
good.
tell you, that first one, boy, it's really strong. But then after the second and third taste, really good.
It was like a pow.
It was. It kapowed me like Batman.
Talking about kapows, I'm drinking a kombucha. This one's really nice. It's actually a blood orange with cardamom. It's a nice little sparkly afternoon treat,
That's right. For that tan, that afternoon tan.
which I'm working on. Yeah. I can tell.
Got to,
I
yeah.
haven't been out there for a while, but anyway.
Now, I had to put on a hat because I was afraid I was going to burn. So I'm a little bald up there. Coverage does
But you
good.
had a nice cut here recently, man. I showed the guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. That was 2 weeks ago. It grew out.
I was going to go show us now.
Yeah, no, I can't show
Yeah,
you.
it's all good.
Next time.
It's all good. All good. So what's been going on, man? We've been a little bit since we got together. Like we said, the weather's been up and down. We've had a few hard storms, had some cold stuff come through, but there are a lot of activities going on too.
A lot of activities. I'll let you touch on that because you have a lot going on.
The things happen and just try to keep everybody up to date with stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of normal stuff. Women in Tech had their quarterly event here recently, and then the Fuel Accelerator kicked off their health tech cohort.
Oh, wow.
I'm really excited about that too. We'll probably talk about that more in the future here as they just kicked off. But I will tell you that the cohort that they have is pretty impressive. We're sitting and talking with quite a few of them, and I'm going to do some more talking here this next week. But there's more to come on that. But definitely
Perfect.
follow them and keep an eye on those, especially if you're in the health tech, healthcare, automation, and all about health in general. Just you need to get after Fuel Accelerator and follow them because they've got some good news coming with the program.
Awesome. I also want to go ahead and touch on something that you haven't mentioned yet. And I believe you started it this week, or at least you put out a post this week that you're going to be starting next week. Go ahead and share that with us. Great
Well,
news.
it's good news. So for those of you that have been following me on LinkedIn and know that I try to keep the community updated, communicate about things that are going on, and finding spaces so that you can find the space for yourself and find where you belong and insert yourself there. And so we're evolving that. So it's the next step. Lines is what we're calling it. And it's going to have the calendar aspect to it. So you can still know about some of the meetups and get-togethers that are going on. But it's going to start threading. That's what we call it, thread lines. Threading the community together to understand all these different spaces, pieces, organizations, people behind it, including startups, builders, entrepreneurs, and really helping to weave this community a little bit closer together.
Yeah, that ecosystem is growing so exponentially in Northwest Arkansas that having it all in one place just makes it easy for VCs, for startups, for everybody who is entering that marketplace or that ecosystem, right? So what he's doing is phenomenal. I'll go ahead and put some links for you up here with LinkedIn so you can go ahead and start following along as well. So make sure to follow.
And speaking of that, and thanks for giving that a little promotion there, it'll get running here, and hopefully all of you will follow it as well and give us feedback. And by the way, this isn't completely my own idea. This guy here had something to do with it as well. And a shout out to our friend Virginia German out there. She had a lot to do with that as well. And so we're still formulating this. More to come. But that doesn't come without our topic today.
Oh my gosh. I've been thinking about it ever since we talked about it a couple weeks ago that we want to talk about motivation. What motivates you? What motivates people? I think at different levels of your life, whether if you're at the early stage where you're starting off your career, you're thinking more, hey, money's my motivator, right?
Yeah.
As you get a little older, your family becomes your motivator, your family, your kids, your wife, your responsibilities. Then as you get a little older past that, kind of like where we're at, we start looking, our motivation is to be happy, to be comfortable, to work, succeed, and just keep going, right? So every level has its own motivation. What motivates you? So that's what we're talking about today, motivation.
Thanks, Raul, for digging into our topic for today, because part of what we were just talking about a little while ago has a lot to do with that. What motivated me to extend and expand on what I've already started, and I've already mentioned that both Raul and Virginia were the catalyst to help push on this idea that we have. We're going to keep moving. There's much more to come in that, but the motivation piece is very important because only you know what motivates you. Okay. I don't know what motivates Raul completely, but I have a guess because I've been around him for a long time. But motivation can change as well, as you mentioned. Sometimes it's just simply finishing our studies. I can tell you, my kids, they'll tell you, homework, got motivation, I'm done. I don't have anything to do, and I can go play video games or ride my bike.
That's motivation right there. Yeah.
Get a little bit older, like you said, motivation is actually getting a job and making some money. Sometimes when you're an adult, paying the bills is all it takes.
Yeah. That's enough motivation for me to keep working.
I like to eat, bro.
Exactly.
And so I got to have money for that.
Hey, I like to have a roof over my head. I like to have food on the table. I like to provide for my family. So yeah, you're right. That's motivation for sure.
Big motivation.
Absolutely.
And then there's others that, especially this is why I like our ecosystem here locally and entrepreneurs in general. There's a lot of motivation in there along with some passion. And those two fueled together, it makes an awesome scenario for many good things to happen. And that's why I like participating here locally in Northwest Arkansas and all the things that are going on, because everywhere I go and I turn, even here today, as we were setting up, we saw some people we know and some people that are fitting into that mold, and they're motivated, they're passionate, they're getting after it because they have something that they want to do, something that they want to achieve, or just simply they want to share.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes innovation brings on motivation, right? Because finishing a project, finishing some type of service, something that will catapult you to the next level is your motivation. And being a disruptor, I feel that you love disruption, right? That's this guy's motivator.
Is that obvious?
Oh, absolutely. I could tell you in a heartbeat.
Gosh.
Disruption is key for this guy. Everybody has a motivator. What's your motivator? What motivates you on a regular basis? On a morning when it's cloudy and 35 degrees, or it's snowing,
Coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Coffee. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of coffee, right?
A lot of coffee, yes, and a good one, a good strong one.
And in the afternoon, a couple beers. Hey, absolutely.
It's all about motivation, right?
Exactly. Right. Yeah, that motivates me a couple times as well. A week.
You know what motivates me, Raul, is really getting to help others. That's a big motivating factor, and I get asked that all the time. It's okay, hey, you're out there, you're helping, you're doing. What about you? But for me, it is about you. It's about you and others, because that's where I find a lot of joy. I find joy in just the way that my mind works as well, is to find out where can I step in, lean in, help you. And so one of the things that I always introduce myself when somebody new comes up is that I am a collaborator and connector first, and a solutionist at heart. So you have something that you need or want or need to solve, and I know somebody somewhere, and we're going to bring you two together.
That's right.
And that's my motivation. It's like a challenge in a sense, because you're telling me you need something and I'm going to go find it. And my mind just goes to that solution oriented focus of how can I do it. If you tell me you need a coffee, I'm going to say, and he did earlier. He said, let's go to a coffee house. I'm like, which one? I said, Airship. Boom, done. All right. He's got his coffee.
That's right.
So solutions, that's where I'm focused, but my motivation is helping others.
I'm not going to lie. There's sometimes where I make a decision. I'm like, hey, we're going to meet here, or we're going to meet there, and we meet there. This time I was like, hey, I don't know. You tell me. He said this place. I said, absolutely. Let's go there. And that's where we're at. That's a motivator for me sometimes, right? It's maybe I need a little push sometimes. Today, I'm not going to lie, it's a little slow for me, a little sluggish, right? I need my coffee to wake up. And then I have this guy telling me, hey, we're meeting at 2 o'clock right here. I'm like, absolutely, let's do it.
Let's make sure we also break down that motivation piece so that we don't confuse it, because sometimes somebody's, oh, motivation is needing something. And it's not necessarily that at all. Like I just explained, I love helping people and I don't necessarily need something from them in return. But motivation is what gets you going, what gets you moving. Like you said earlier, it's a cloudy day. How many of you are like, oh man, it's a cloudy day? Or my alarm goes off in the morning. Oh man, I got to get up.
Exactly.
What motivates you to keep doing what you're doing or to try to get to where you want to get to? That's where motivation really steps in. A good example, and this is a good one that a lot of people understand. Tomorrow's vacation day. I am motivated. I'm going to do my work today. I'm going to go home. I'm going to pack my suitcase.
Is it almost 5 o'clock?
I'm going to set my alarm. I'm actually going to get up when my alarm goes off. See the excitement in there? That's motivation.
That's right.
And so each of us has to dig in and find what is it that moves us.
That's right. That's right. That's a good analogy there for sure. For me, when I get to Friday, it's a great day because it's the start of the weekend. It's the start of camping or going out, doing something, spending time with the family. But once Sunday night hits, I'm ready for Monday morning. I'm ready for the week. I have my calendar in my head, what I'm going to do, who I'm going to call, how many outreaches I'm going to do, what I'm going to post. I have it in my head what I'm going to do. And if I need to write it down, I will write it down. But I already know what my week looks like. A successful week, a motivating week for me is doing all the things that I said I want to do.
Nice.
That's my motivation.
And I would argue that part of your motivation there is also the rest that you took, right? Because you broke from your normal day-to-day grind and you went and did something like camping, and that took you away from your normal, and then you finished that, and now you're going back to your normal, so to speak, and you're breaking away from what broke you away.
Exactly.
And so it's a little bit of a cycle. But your motivating factor is that you have something to look forward to. So in this case, you look forward to your weekend with your camping, and then that's ending, and you're looking forward to getting back to your grind.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely. We've talked about this in the past, that you need to recharge, you need to reset yourself,
Yes.
and that needs to happen even sometimes on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, for example, even on a daily basis. Sometimes we need a little motivation to keep going. And how do you motivate yourself? How do you yourself motivate yourself to do something, to do that grind on a regular basis?
Again, you have to have that thing that you're looking forward to. What do kids are so unfiltered, and sometimes we need to go back and think through the lens of our children. Because if you think about it, school doesn't motivate them, I can tell you. There's some that do. There's some that really like the academics part of it. But most kids are like, I got to go to school again. What's the motivating factor for them? Some kind of activity. For my kids is mountain biking. They're born and bred Bentonville. They're mountain bikers. And anytime the sun gets out like this,
They're out.
they're out. They're ready as soon as
Peace.
they get home from school. See mom, dad, bye, boom, boom. And so that's what motivates them. What is it that motivates you? What do you look forward to? Sometimes, for some people, it's just simply doing what we're doing right now, sitting at a coffee shop.
Exactly.
Just having a cup of coffee, reading a book. We were talking about that a little while ago, too. We saw some people here earlier, too, that some were finishing up their emails, some were reading a book, some were just sitting there with their cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's those little things in life that you should appreciate that get you to your final goal, whatever that goal is. Again, sitting here, being able to sit in front of the sun and just suntan talking to you is a dream come true, right? This is what makes our motivation on a regular basis look and feel great. And that's why we do it. That's why we do it, right? If we didn't want to do this, we wouldn't be here.
And I like that you brought that factor up, because we produce this podcast 2 steps ahead to keep you 2 steps ahead. And our motivating factor is that people reach out to us, and we see people on the streets and people DM us all the time and stuff and saying, hey, I appreciate what you talked about. I resonated with what you were saying. That meant something to me. That's our motivation to keep this going. Because if nobody ever said anything and it was just out there or nobody's viewing it, then it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
But you make it make sense. And we appreciate you. And that's what motivates us to continue. And it will be very honest, very open and honest. There are times where I will say, hey, man, let's meet up. I'm like, oh, man, I've got all this other stuff to do. I got a meeting. And then it's like, what about our audience? And you know what? He's right. You are what keeps us going. And sometimes that happens the other way around.
Absolutely.
Hey, Raul, where you at? Oh, man, I'm running late. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I was like, dude, our audience. And so we keep each other in check because of you.
Absolutely. Here lately, I've met a ton of people from all different walks of life, right? From executives to professionals to just regular people that work in restaurants and work in different areas, right? Retail stores and so on and so forth. One thing I can definitely say is that people don't lack motivation. They
No.
really don't. The word that a lot of people use is they hustle. I don't think hustling is the right word. I think grinding is the right word. You grind on a regular basis to get to whatever you want to accomplish in life, whether it's working at a Walmart or a Sam's Club or working at a Costco. We all have the same mentality. We're there to accomplish something in life. We're all going through issues, we're all going through problems, but at the same time, we work hard to try to get to where we want to get to. And that happens across the board, whether you're at the retail position, working in a store, or if you're the CEO of a company. Everybody has issues and everybody has goals, right? So to me, the grind is a never ending thing that you do on a regular basis.
But the one key factor there is we all have to do the grind one way or another for different reasons, different things. Even just at home, you got to take the trash out, right? The trash can fills up, you got to take it out. There's nothing motivating about that, except that when I need to actually throw something away, I can do it and not have to just keep piling it on there.
Exactly.
I know that sounds very simple and stupid to some, but it is that meaningful. And you've got to find that thing that keeps you going. That's what motivation is. What keeps you going? What keeps you showing up? What keeps you doing whatever it is that you're doing, whatever grind that you're in, or whatever aspirations that you have that you're exuding to other people? What makes you do that? What makes you keep going?
Exactly, absolutely. So a lot of people, education is key, or the work is key, or the
Yeah.
family is key, and whatever it is for you, whatever your motivating factor is, keep grinding.
I'll tell you another thing too from a motivation factor. Ro and I have been friends for over 20 years, and that doesn't just happen, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, I've got friends for that long too. But you don't just stay friends with somebody for that long. There's something motivating about it. And with Raul and I, it's that we help each other. We lean on each other. We see our ups, we see our downs. We have conversations, good and bad. And we're constantly supporting each other. And for us, that's a motivating factor to continue our friendship, to keep showing up, keep trying new things and introducing to others and stuff, because we've maintained that through that motivation that we bounce off of each other.
Exactly. And at the same time, we're here for you as well. I know it sounds corny that we're here for you, but we really are. We are sharing our thoughts, our ideas, our emotions, our friendship with you. So you can go ahead and take what you'd like from it and hopefully help you grow. And again, help you stay 2 steps ahead.
And
Right?
that whole concept of staying 2 steps ahead is very key. And it's part of a motivating factor because for yourself, if you're going through the motions, you're going to end up with emotions. And as simple as that's stated, it's very true and you can get into a bad place. We've been there. But you don't have to be, and you're not alone. And some of the things that we talk about, all of us go through. And maybe you're not going through some of that today. Maybe that you're listening today and you're like, oh, I'm totally motivated. I'm going gung ho. I got it going.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Share that with somebody else. Help somebody else understand how that motivation works because there's somebody listening out there somewhere around us that is wondering, feeling, how can I possibly get motivated? I'm stuck. I can't get out of this grind. I can't see the light. I can't see positivity. But we want you to know that there is, and you can. You just got to
Yeah.
look inside and maybe talk to somebody and understand what it is that you're trying to get to.
Yeah, I'll go back to meeting all the people that I've actually talked to here in the last 6 months. That we're all going through something. Everybody's going through something. Everybody gets thrown curveballs in life. We all have to go through issues, whether it's happy times, bad times, or scary times, or anything in between, right? We all go through them. And they're there to make us be stronger in the end. And I know it doesn't sound like it sometimes. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes. But all you have to do is just believe that you will get to where you want to get to, and it will come true. It does happen.
And we've stated this a little bit before, but I'm going to restate it again. Nobody defines you. You define you. And motivation is what defines you and carries you. And so don't let Raul or I tell you who you are. You tell yourself who you are, believe in yourself, and get whatever it is that motivates you to keep you rolling. So it's like going out on the waves, which, by the way, I'm not a surfer of any means, so I don't talk. This is for entertainment purposes only, because you don't want to see that. But no, but for those that go out on a surfboard and on the waves, you catch a good wave and you ride it,
That's right.
But you got to paddle out there.
Can I add a caveat to that?
Yeah.
I find the way to drown in like a foot of water. So I'm not getting on a wave or a surfboard or anything, okay? I'm just letting you know, nope.
There's
no
a
deal.
reason that says kiddie pool, only people under 3 years old.
I'll find a way to drown in that kiddie pool. Trust me. That's just me. All right. So let's go back to me telling you a story. I think I always share a story with you guys,
absolutely.
right? So this time I neglected to start one off here when we started the podcast, but I will say there was a time probably about 15 years ago where my daughter was still on the younger side. She was probably about 13, 14 years old. She had it in her head that she wanted to teach me how to swim. We were in Branson, Missouri, okay? If you're familiar with Branson, hopefully you are. If you're not, look it up. But we were in Branson.
There's a picture row.
Yeah, there's a picture of me drowning on a foot of water. They actually were lifting me or holding me, trying to teach me how to float and let me go. And when they let me go, I couldn't get up and I was drowning. Literally, it was probably about 2 feet of water, but I was drowning. Yeah, that's my story. It's ridiculous, but true.
To go off of that for a moment, you were in that moment, you were drowning. In that moment, you couldn't think straight.
Nope.
In that moment, your motivation was to stay alive.
Yeah, try to get up. I couldn't.
And sometimes we get blinded. Sometimes we're in that 2 foot of water where all we have to do is stand up.
Exactly.
But at the moment,
Yep.
it doesn't make sense and it's not going through properly. And you can't
Yeah.
concentrate of the simple things that we've got to
Yeah.
do. So it's a great analogy.
Yeah, it's so awesome. He's totally correct. All I had to do was stand up. But at that moment, it's the last thing I was thinking. And I think we all go through that, through those emotions where we don't know what to do. And sometimes you just have to take a step back and look at what's happening and how to make it better. And I know it sounds easy, and I know it's not easy, but sometimes we just have to do different things to have different outcomes.
And you stated one thing really clear. Stand up. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for who you are. Define who you are to yourself, not to anybody else. I can't tell you who you are, and nor should you ever let me, because you define you. So stand up for yourself and take your motivation, whatever it is that drives you, and use it as a force to go forward.
Man, that's deep. That is deep. I think I'm tearing a little bit.
Get out of there.
Oh,
Bird that
wait,
just passed by.
Yeah. That poop got in my eye or something. I don't know. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed it today. I know this conversation was a little deep, but sometimes we go in deep, right? Because next time we'll probably have a guest and it'll probably be just all over the place. Hope you enjoyed it.
But motivation is very important as we go through and we keep connecting, keeping you 2 steps ahead here in Northwest Arkansas and beyond. Just keep in mind that there is a place for you. And we try to talk about some of the events and activities that are going on. And at the beginning, we talked about a little initiative that I'm kicking off here that will help you formulate some of that too. But the biggest thing is find your people, find your tribe, find where you belong, and jump in and let them know who you are, because that's super important. And that's all we want for you, is that you're able to be you, stand up for yourself, and take your motivation to the highest levels you can.
Very well said. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us again here on the 2 Steps Ahead podcast. Until next time, I'm Robert Sean.
I'm Raul. Take care. Peace out.
Peace.